Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads. So it's time to do my weekly wrap up from this past week. So let's jump right in and talk about books that I read last week. Well, I did some reading last week. I read Conan, I read Sherlock, I read 2 short stories, and I made some progress in Ken Liu's The Veiled Throne, book number 3 in his Dandelion Dynasty. I read about 300 pages in this thing, so I'm over the halfway point. So that's good. It doesn't feel like I got a lot done, accomplished, but I really did read quite a bit this week. Of the 2 short story books, I read Joyce Carol Oates from this collection, The Best American Mystery Stories. I read her short story Meadowlands, which I scored a 4.2 out of 5. And then I read from Peter Straub's collection, Interior Darkness, I read Pork Pie Hat and gave it a 4.4 from Peter Straub. Really was a solid reading week. I also got a lot done in terms of videos, and let's jump right into videos this last week. So I had my Saturday shorts, my Conan, my Sherlock Holmes video. I did my What Are You Reading Wednesday short, and thanks to Logan at Novel Insights, because he reminded me like, hey, are you still doing this? Because it was like in the afternoon. I usually do it like first thing in the morning. And so I did that late. And then I did a From the Shelves about The Blade Itself, which is book number 1 in the First Law trilogy from Joe Abercrombie. That was good. And I did 3 tag videos. I did 3 interesting tags, 2 from the lovely Pat at Book Chat with Pat, and 1 from Bob at Robert G. Reader of Books. All 3 were lots of fun. I actually recorded a 4th tag, which is going to launch Tuesday of this coming week, so be on the lookout for that. It's an interesting one as well. And so I did those, and then I actually got back into my Why You Should Read series, and I did a video on why you should read David Baldacci, one of my favorite thriller writers. It felt good to get back into those. I always really enjoyed those. It was the Why You Should Read series and the deep dive character studies were like the first 2 series that I launched when I started this channel back in March, and so it was good to get back into those. I also did kind of a sentimental, emotional video because I've been giving a lot of thought lately. It's this time of year where you're doing some reflection back on the year. You know, you have different trains of thought going through your head. And I was like, I really need to maybe pay it back a little bit. I had a lot of channels support me as I was getting, I was still green, so to speak, with YouTube. And so what I did is I did a top underrated YouTube or BookTube channels and did kind of a collage of that and talked about 24 different channels that I think are underrated. And so if you haven't checked that out, you should. There's a lot of good niche channels on there that really need a larger audience. And so definitely check that out. I think you would definitely subscribe to a lot of them and really enjoy them. So it was a busy week. In terms of videos, I think I did 10, which is a little more than I want to be doing. I'm really kind of... But I'm wanting to read so much, and there's so many different, I want to do Sherlock, I want to do Conan. We're still working on that. I will say, however, just to give you a little behind the scenes, is I'm slowly starting to create a backlog of videos, or creating kind of a bucket of videos. I've recorded a couple from the shelves already for future week releases on Mondays. I've also been trying to kind of work ahead, and that is something that I haven't done ever since I started this. Usually, if today is the day that I'm going to do From the Shelves, or today's the day I'm going to do Conan, it's usually I'm going to record it at some point in the day and get it out there for you all. It was that day. And now I'm trying to work a little bit of ahead and try to have, 4 or 5 videos ready to go for the upcoming week, and trying to create a schedule. How the schedule kind of looks now is usually Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, it's From the Shelves, some kind of tag video or miscellaneous video. And then usually Wednesdays and Thursdays, it's Conan and Sherlock or book reviews. And, I've been trying to do that. And then obviously it's Saturdays is Saturday Shorts, and Sundays is my weekly wrap up. And usually Fridays open for kind of any other miscellaneous stuff. But it seems lately that's kind of been the cadence. I'll probably alternate Conan and Sherlock down the road, but that's for another, maybe a looking back video or, channel update type thing. But I'm still trying to play with the schedule, and now that I'm trying to get ahead, and we'll see how it goes. But I was really excited and happy to get back to the Why You Should Read. So let's talk about subscribers, comments, engagement in the community. And it was another solid week. I will say this, even as I approach 700 subscribers, which is this crazy for me, I am still commenting back and replying to everyone. And I take pride in that. I really freaking do, because it takes a lot. I mean, there's a lot of time of working on YouTube and everything else that eats away at your book reading time. And you can probably see that a little bit. I've gone from, in the last 5 or 6 months, going from reading 3 and 4 books a week down to maybe getting through 2. I am reading some bigger fantasy stuff, which doesn't help. But with that being said, the output has slowed down because I'm also doing tags and other series and kind of shorter stuff and episodic reviews, but it does add up. But I do pride myself in the fact that I'm replying to every single person's comment, and I'm going to try my darndest to continue to do so. So with that being said, let's roll through this. These people are either commenters, new subscribers, or some friends, and I want to shout them out. So let's go. Brian at Adventures in Literature, Bing Lamb, Brian at Brian MR Pronic 1, Logan at Novel Insights, Tim at Secret Fire Books, Josh at Already Overbooked, James at Twice Born by Grace, Colonel Mustard in the Library, H. Kumar 7340, Colin RG7GT, the lovely Pat at Book Chat with Pat, Nicole at Nicole's Bookish Nook, Amy at Amy Harbored in Pages, some other character, Anonymous, a non-poster, Karen, John at Must Read More, Patty Page 5449, Mark at Book Ramble, Gary at The Tainted Tavern, Thomas at McNulty Book Corral, Rob Ritz 1, and thanks Rob again for recommending Joyce Carol Oates this week, Lyndall at Lynn's 12, Andy at Really Random Reads, Josh Dean 5449, and we're going to talk about Josh in just a little bit, so stay put. Jack Walter 5970, Caleb Welch, Ed Raby, Faceless, my nemesis, Stephen Everett 7, Vin at Vince Corner, BioPhoenix at Xanadu Castle, Austin at Outer World Media, Ted at Ted Red Instead, Miss Ladybug 1974. She's been really active lately, watching some of my previous videos and past videos, and I really appreciate her comments. Free Indeed 7720, the lady from the wagon train, Christina at Paper Pages Possibilities, Dylan Morris, Sue Jackson, James at Little Big Library, Kylie's GRWM, Patricia Wilson, Elaine at Cobalt Dragon, Bob at Robert G. Reader of Books, Kevin Judge 8406, Maeve Ever Books, Jess at Jessbrook Girl TV, Rowdy at Rowdy Player 1, Eric Wag, Trav at Trav Bookshelf, and The Literate Texan, which is Randy Ray. Really interesting week. Lots of comments. It's been great. And so let's talk comment of the week. I have 2. And it's not because I can't really decide and I don't want to leave someone out, but I have 2 this week because I have 2 polarizing comments. One is just a really nice comment, and the other one is just this dig that I just can't help but laugh at. And so first and foremost is James at Twice Born by Grace. I put up a video and he made this comment. He said, I've got God, a cup of coffee, a video from Kevin, so I'm pretty positive I'm going to be good for the day. And that was really nice. Thank you, James. And then the contrasting comment came from my nemesis, Faceless. And so I was talking about, I made a post about the Google thing that came up for some people this week, where it was like, if you go into your settings, you can select if you would like to allow Google to share your video content to train AI. And I thought that was interesting. I made a post about it. And Faceless responded to my post and said this: how desperate are they if they are wanting your crap to train AI? The world is doomed. So, yeah, those 2 comments, a really nice one, and just, a one below the belt that I really shouldn't be surprised by, but it did make me laugh. So let's talk some book-related news. So, in terms of book-related news, I've been doing this for the last month, and I'm going to continue to do so for a while, and I figured I would add a little twist to it this week. I've been kind of showcasing some subscribers of mine, published authors that also have channels, or just published authors in general, and so I wanted to kind of roll through them again and let you know, but I also want to highlight and show you kind of an excerpt for either from Amazon or the web of their book, and so we're going to roll through this. Tim at Secret Fire Books. Tim is a hilarious guy. If you haven't checked out their Elusive Exclusive Book Society. They did a live stream from the book graveyard, Pulp Mortem, Tim at Secret Fire Books. It was a lot of fun. I watched that on the live stream, made some comments. They like to have fun. They keep things light. You should check them out. But Tim at Secret Fire Books is a published author, and I am showcasing his Mayhem and Magic duology. I believe it's duology. Tim can keep me honest, but there are 2 books in this. I thought it was really interesting. I will put a screenshot up of that. Also, Gary at the Tainted Tavern. Gary is also a published writer. He actually wrote under the pen name Jack Martin, and he wrote some Westerns. One in particular, The Ballad of Delta Rose. And I'll put a screenshot of that up as well. Nicole at Nicole's Bookish Nook. Nicole has wrote a couple different books. Her Midnight Detective Agency, she's wrote several books in it, and I put a screenshot of that up for you as well. Eric Wag, definitely a sword and sorcery type guy. He wrote his Scarde, The Wandering Sword, and he has 2 books in that, and I put that up there. Sorry, Eric, if I mispronounced that. And then Mark at Book Ramble. Mark spent some time in the Navy, and he's wrote 2 books about the Royal Navy, and I thought that was really interesting. They're also available on Amazon as well. Eric from Eric's Bookshelf. Eric is actually a tattoo artist, and he has written several books about the art of tattooing, and I will put those up on his Amazon store as well. And then you have Thomas at McNulty Book Corral. Thomas is a very accomplished author. He has wrote the Wounded Outlaw books. There are 14 of them. 14. And so I'll put those up there as well. And then Sue Jackson. Sue Jackson is also an author, and lo and behold, she lives with a chronic illness, which is what her book is about. It is Finding a New Normal, and it is also available, and I'll put a screenshot of it as well. And then also, I had another subscriber. I mentioned this before. If you see this video and you are an author and you would like to be showcased here, let me know, and I'll add you to the list. Josh Dean at JoshDean5449 reached out to me and said, hey, I've written a book as well. He wrote The Anubis Stone, which is also available on Amazon, and I'll put a screenshot of that as well. He's also probably going to be working on a YouTube page for BookTube. I definitely think he should, and so that should be forthcoming down the road as well, and I will definitely make sure to share that with you all. And so again, in terms of what I'm reading this week, so this week my goal is to finish The Veiled Throne, get a review out there for you all. I'm really enjoying this book, and I promised I would get to Bosch book number 1, so I'm going to read that this week and review it as well. That is the goal, is to get these 2 books finished and reviewed on the channel, and I should be able to do that because I'm not working this week, and so I should have a lot of downtime amongst family things to do that, and that is the goal. And so I hope you are having a good week. In terms of videos this coming week as well, before I let you go, and because I'm all over the place in this one, I should have hopefully 2 book reviews, my Saturday shorts. I have a Sherlock Holmes video coming this week. I have a tag video coming as well. And I have 2 books that I'm eagerly anticipating and wanting some response on. I have my top books of 2024 coming, and I have my top short stories coming as well. And I'll have another From the Shelves video as well. So it's going to be a busy week. I hope you're ready for it. I hope you're going to have time with family and friends and some time off and can enjoy the holidays. And with that, happy holidays, and I will talk to you all in the next one. Thanks.